Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Mark. Today we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this headlight here. This headlight is from a 2009 and a 2010 Hyundai Sonata NF. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bake this in the oven. That is correct. We're gonna bake this in the oven until it gets warm enough, and then I'm gonna chop it into pieces, and I'm gonna provide this cake to my wife and my kids. I'm kidding. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put this bad boy in the oven. We're gonna bake it for about let's say 8 minutes. You have to preheat your oven at 220 for 8 minutes. So go to your oven, preheat it for 220. Wait until your oven is ready, and then put this bad boy in your oven for 8 minutes. Well, as you're waiting, as what we're doing right now with my oven, as we're waiting for it to reach that temperature, I went ahead and I removed the cap here, here, here. Again, 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one at the bottom. That's the parking light. So then when you take all that stuff out, you take your LED, your light bulbs out, make sure all your light bulbs out. I just gotta take this light bulb out. That's the high beam. Once that's all ready and out, then you're gonna do is you're gonna take this. I think some of you guys, if you guys have a Hyundai Sonata 2009, 2010, there's like this rubber gasket over here. Remove that, and you also have like a tab right here. So this what mounts onto your car. It's like a plastic tab. I think I have it right here. It's this piece right here. I already removed it. I believe it goes like that. So you need to remove this as well. Just gives you more space for to fit inside your oven. Just make sure that when you put this in your oven and nothing is touching your oven, not the corners. Make sure your corners not touching the oven. That's what I meant to say. And then just put it in there for 8 minutes. You can hold a wooden. You know what? Let me take this oven, guys, and let's bring it into the I can't even talk. Let's take the headlight and bring it to the oven. For the oven to preheat at 220. Once it reaches 220, it's gonna make noise. That means it's ready for me to put the headlight inside the oven. I'm gonna put it inside the oven for a good 7 minutes. Let it warm up, and then I'm gonna take it out and take it to the garage so I can pry it open. All right, it's been 7 minutes. Let's grab this bad boy. Smell the cake. It's nice and warm, it's ready. Let's start prying this open because it is ready. Once you have all the tabs open, it's so warm right now that you don't need a flathead. You have a good 10 minutes to start prying these open. The ones on the corner here will need to use a flathead for. And then while it's warm, let's move this out. See, this is the reason why I wear black plastic gloves over my good blue gloves, because this butyl right here will damage your gloves and you're gonna have to throw it away. All right, guys, I'm ready to start modifying my headlight. It took about, I wanna say, a good 5 to 8 minutes to pry the headlight lens out of its housing here, it's a lot easier than doing it with the heat gun. With the heat gun, you constantly have to keep going to the side that you're working on. Actually, that takes a lot longer. 7 minutes and in the oven at 220, and then just start prying it open from one corner and then start moving your way around. It took me about, again, 5 to 8 minutes. All right, so as you're working on your headlight and you try to plan on modifying this, just make sure that you place the headlight housing inside a plastic bag and just put it somewhere safely so no one knocks it over or hits it, breaks it, or any dust gets on the projector or any of the electrical components. So let me just place it on the side now. You're gonna gently work on a smooth surface. You're gonna start taking these stuff on. I have gloves on just because I don't wanna leave any stains and grease onto the chrome, even though I'm going to paint them. But I do want to take up the stuff here. This is pretty much easy to take out. It's already loose. Let's see what happens. That's fine. You're gonna start taking out the screws here. 1, 2, 3 for this one, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your high beams. I'm gonna remove them so I can paint all this black. I want all the chrome black, even the little cup there, the little small reflectors, which is this one and this one. Some don't paint them, they leave them chrome just because it gives a better output to when you have your headlights on. I really don't care. I want to have it all smooth black. Well, excuse me, not smooth. I want it black. I'm going to go with flat black. A lot of people don't know this, but one of the good paints to use if you don't want to prime is use Plasti Dip. You can Plasti Dip the chrome a flat black, and it gives it that nice solid black color. And you can always leave chrome onto the on these plastic shrouds here. They do look nice chrome. I mean, I might paint this one black just because of the components that I'm waiting in the mail. They should be arriving today. I'm gonna put something on that side in here, so I want all of this black. So let's go ahead. I'm talking too much. I'm gonna start removing it. So these two components, you do not, well, I mean, it's up to you if you want to paint them. I'm definitely not going to paint this one. I'm either 50-50 on this one right here. I might do something cool with this one. So I'm gonna put these two to the side. Take this plate out. So right now I'm 100% sure that I'm going to paint these two pieces, including this big boy here, all black. And now I have to remove the blinker housing right here, this reflector. So let me do that now. Are these screws the same? No, they're not. So this one that came out of here is not the same screw as the other pieces. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put it here so I don't lose. Remember my V1s and my V2s, I broke the tab because I wasn't sure how to remove them from the first step. There's no video showing you how to take a reflector. So hopefully this video will teach you guys how to take this reflector. There's 4 tabs like I mentioned, 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. That's not a tab right there. That's not a tab. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. What you want to do is start from the bottom, this one right here. You're gonna put your thumb, your nail, do not use any flatheads or any tools. Just press in, it's gonna pop out just like that. And the same thing you're gonna do to this one right here. You're gonna pop it inwards. Once you do, it's gonna look like that. Okay, you see that space? You see that space? Now these guys, what you wanna do is again, use gloves. plastic gloves, and then slowly start popping them out. And this is the way you do it without breaking any tabs. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I broke my tabs. Very slowly. Again, I'm not trying to beat the clock here. And that's my wife right there. Yeah, baby? In a bit. Okay. Now it's this tab right here. This guy's giving me a problem, so I'm gonna have to. There you go. And that's it. It actually looks nice if I put it this way, but I don't know with your state. Your state might tell you guys that you won't pass inspection because you need a reflector, orange amber reflector on your headlights. So please, first, if you're gonna remove this, just for the sake of having a cool headlights without a reflector, it may be illegal in your state. So please first confirm with your state if you need an orange amber on your headlight. Now for this step, I use one of my eyeglasses. This one is from Loden, the emblem that I got from my car. If you guys noticed that the rear of my car by the trunk, that emblem is a Loden emblem and it's not a Hyundai emblem. This one's for my glasses. This type of material you can use to wipe off any dust that you have slowly. Again, use gloves. You know, this one's a bit dirty. There you go. Just give it a nice wipe down. Do not blow at it, because if you blow at this, you're gonna leave saliva stains on this, and you don't want to do that, especially when you're going to paint. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead with this one, big boy. And just gently give it a good gentle cleaning. So now you are ready to paint. Now, if you're using some specific color, some custom color, you may have to use primer. I'm not gonna primer this because I'm going to use Plastic Dip. I'm gonna use flat black, solid black. I said black already. Black paint. I like Plastic Dip on these headlights because Plastic Dip sustains high heat. When these headlights are on, I don't have to worry about the paint burning or dying. Not dying, but giving it a change of color because of the heat. No, it's always black. I've used it on my V1s and my V2 headlights. Never gave me a problem. Light coat. I'm not gonna do that one yet, just because I want to have room and time to dedicate on these three. I'm gonna give you guys the aftermath. Again, I'm gonna do 3 coats. Just the first one. That one, again, this one only needs 3 as well. I want to make sure that I'm doing it on one coat evenly on one side. Then I'm going to flip the housing around, so doing it the other side, so I can get all the little nicks and crannies there on the edges. All right, so let's wait until this dries. All right, so this is 3 coats. And now it's time to work on that bad boy. Now, before I open this is a Profile Performance. They are a great company that does switchbacks, LED strips. On my V2s, back in 2014, I want to say, or 2015, I went ahead and purchased switchback LEDs. These strips, they look very nice. However, they were very cheap. Those did not last long. And just imagine if you're working on your headlights, you open up your headlights, you know, you start modifying it, and next thing you know, you're putting some cheap product in there, and then they go out, and the next thing you can do is, in a couple of months, you're gonna have to reopen your headlights just to take out those broken LEDs to replace them with something else. So I went with this company. They're quite expensive. I'll put the link below in the description. So you guys are interested on purchasing yourself one of these sets. They're awesome. They come in different sizes. The one that I have here, this is a 9-inch. Why is it a 9-inch? Because I plan on putting it right here. This is the parking light housing for a Hyundai Sonata 2009-2010. This is the lens. It was clear. I'll put the link below on how I made the video of frosting this. I frosted this in 4 coats in the front and 4 coats in the back to give it that frost look. Why did I do that? That's because when I have the 9-inch LED strips, I plan on putting it either on the wall side right here or on the bed here. I'm not sure which place to do it, but I'm gonna start testing this just to find a great place for it. Why am I going to put it here is because I believe this is a perfect place to put a 9-inch LED strip. This frost right here will cover the strip. Let me, I believe it's either in one of these boxes. Maybe on this one. It's a big box though. Okay, it says right here, yes, LED pivot 9-inch. Again, what a switchback is, it's a pure white, and then when you hit the turn signals, it turns orange. The white hue, the white LED strips turn off, and then the amber LED strips turn on. What I want to do is I want to cover all this. So I plan on placing it here, maybe here. The reason why I say maybe is because of this guy right here, that hole there. See, that hole is for the actual factory parking light housing. It's this one. Obviously, it's not going to fit right now. It's because this goes on behind the headlight housing. So it goes in there and it closes. But now take a look at that. Look how much space it takes. So I can't fit a 9-inch strip there. See that? Sorry, my light's turned off here. There you go. So I plan on taking this out, finding a way to cover that up. Now I did cover them up in my V2 headlights. On my V2s, I did the same thing, but I made a hole here for the LED strips. However, these are not thin. It's big and bulky, as you can see that. See, the LED strips that I had before, the cheap ones, were only 2 wires, just like this. And I just made a small little hole right here, and I fed the wires through there, and I believe I had the strips right here. Now on the V2s, when you would turn on the lights, you would see the strips. You could see the plexiglass, excuse me, yeah, you can call this plexi, the silicone. You can see it on the frosted lens. Pretty much, let me give you an idea of what you were looking at. So at night, during the daytime, you would see them kind of like this on the daytime. So I didn't like that. The frost, this is nice, and it's gonna blur the light source, but I think this would look great on the wall here. So I gotta figure it out what I'm gonna do with that hole there and placing this wire. All right, so let's go ahead and let's open up the other piece, because right now this is just the LED strip. And I believe this is the relay harness, the adapter. Yes, it is. See, you get what you pay for. This is heavy and sturdy. This is one heavy adapter. Now, cheap ones that I bought in my V2s back in 2014 were just 2 wires. That's all they were. And then I was able easily make a little hole to feed the wires out the parking light housing. But these, I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna modify these, and that's gonna be the fun part. My kids are sleeping right now, my wife is sleeping. It's the middle of the night, so I'm gonna listen to some music and just play around with these and figure out what I'm gonna do. But obviously, the most important thing is that I plan on putting this inside there and have it well hidden so nothing of the LED strips show like they did in my V2s. So what I'm doing right now is I made a couple of holes right here. I use a black Sharpie marker to indicate where I'll be drilling holes. I already made 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have these 2 to do, and then these 2 right there. Let me flip it over. I don't know if you can see the holes. There's 2 there. There's 2 there. And then I have a couple more to do. Why am I doing that? Is because I decided that I'm not going to put the LED strip on the bed like I did on my last V2s, because when they light up, the corner here and here show with the, it shows on the frosted lens. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use the 3M tape that it comes with, and I'm gonna place it on the wall here as so. But the problem is, if you look at it, it's curved. So even if I do decide to use the 3M tape and it will hold, who's to say it won't hold for long? And the next thing you know, it's all loose and you can see it dangling on the frosted lens. I don't want that to happen, because then I'm gonna have to reopen my headlights and do this modification again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the 3M tape, place it against the wall there, and then I'm going to use hanger wire. There's like 4 wires in one strip here. What I'm gonna do is just take out 1 to make it very thin, and then I'm going to feed it through the holes that I made. So it's gonna be here on one side, 2, 3, and 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So then I can tie it on the back. So I'm using a nail. If you see these 2 little dots here, I'm planning on making a hole there. So I'm taking a nail and just setting a groove. So then my Dremel, there you go. It'll be a lot easier to puncture a hole. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean Dremel, I meant the drill bit. The drill bit that I'm using is a 1/16, I believe. Let me confirm. I don't want to give you guys false information. Yes, it's a 1/16. I have 2 of them right there. I'm using that one. This is actually picture frame wire. Why am I using this? Because it's durable and very, very thin, so it's quite hard to see. You can bend it multiple times and it won't break. So I already have them, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. Now I'm working on this one, on this side. You can see it here, but once they're lit up and the frost glass, that one right over there, is gonna cover it up. You're not gonna see any of it. So let me start working on this side right here. These are the 2 holes, 1, 2. I think it's best if I just bend it. And then feed it right there. Grab both of them. And then just twist it. Make sure it's even. Let me just put my thumb there so it doesn't fall out. Okay. So you can't really tell is there, there, right there, and there. But now that bad boy is not going anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make another hole for this wire. Because look, if you pop it, you see it, how it dangles? I don't want this right here, this corner popping out at night when it's lit up, and you can see this part when it's covered as so. Hole right here, I used a 5/16 drill bit so I can feed the wire through this. This is the 9-inch LED strip. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how I set this up. These are the, not sequential, these are the LED switchbacks, the 9-inch here. This is just my testing headlight. This is not the one that's going to be actually on the car. I just spliced some wires just to see if it works. What I did is I put the black wire of the profile pivot. I put it on this side here. Now, the white one that comes off of this one, again, there's 3 wires that come off the profile adapter here. The black one, well, I think it's called the driver. Yeah, the driver. The black one goes on the right side. The white one goes on the left side. And then the orange one, I had to cut the wire because it does not fit here. This is actually a little too big. So what I did is I just cut the wire and then I spliced it with the blue wire to feed the blinker. Those are the only 3 wires you need to worry about. It's black, white, and orange to have them working. So now let's test it. Okay, first test. Let's see if the blinkers work. They do. I'm gonna turn on the car. I'm gonna put it on parking light to see it turns white and then hit the blinker. Alright, here we go. Let's turn it on. See it turn white. And it is white. Awesome. And then I'm gonna hit the blinker to see it turns off. I'm gonna put it on camera. I won't be able to see it because I'll be in the driver's seat. But so far, so good. All right. I just got this in the mail. Came in perfect timing. This is the Halo LED switchbacks for your Hyundai Sonata 2009-2010 shroud here. So what you're looking at, this is the model and this is where I want to place it. I hope I made the right choice in getting the 80mm instead of the 90, but we're gonna see that. Yes, 80mm right there. Now I went with this company just because I heard good feedback. I read good feedback, and seen a lot of people, a lot of pros using this on their cars. So I said, you know what? It's time for me to modify my headlights. I might as well get one of these. I believe this is where the driver. This is the driver / adapter, and now let's go ahead and open up this bad boy. I'm crossing fingers that it's the right size. If not, I'm gonna have to modify more than I should. No, I think it's too small. Well, let's see. Should have went with 90. I should have went with 90. Let's go see. Yeah, you know what? I'll make the best of it. That's what I do here. I'm gonna make the best of it. 90 would have been great, but I'm gonna still rock this one. I'm gonna paint this white to match that. And then I frosted my parking light lens for the Switchback LEDs 9-inch. It's gonna fit. It's gonna fit there perfectly. Oh, let's open up the adapter / driver. Nice. So I'm gonna play around with them, and it's gonna be quite easy. This orange one goes with the blinker, black and white. I'm actually gonna put these on my parking lights. It's gonna connect to these black and white, excuse me. There you go. The black and white cables are gonna go with the parking light. This one is gonna be attached to the blinker. I'm just gonna cut this off because I won't need this. All right, so I'm ready to install the Halo LED onto my shroud. The first thing you need to do is make sure you know which one is up and which one is down. Mine, because of this little tab right here, I know that this is the up and this is the bottom. So I'm gonna drill a hole. Right now I'm only gonna use a very small 1/16 drill bit to do it right here. But matter of fact, I won't drill this way. I'm actually gonna drill from the bottom here. And then I'm gonna work my way to a higher drill bit so then I can feed this wire. Well, actually feed it through here, downwards. So then this is placed correctly, and then I'm gonna have to make some little holes on the side and use, what am I gonna use? Picture frame wire for that little hole right there, there, and there. It's gonna be placed nicely. Again, I wish I had purchased a 90mm, but I'm gonna work with what I have. It's not gonna be that bad. And I really don't care if I put my handprints in this shroud because I will paint this. I plan on painting this white. Okay, finally, I'm almost at the end. So what I did is I pretty much painted the headlight black with white shrouds. I put the Halo LEDs, switchbacks that go along with the 9-inch LED switchbacks on the parking lights. I put my number NYC there, over there as well. Now all I have left is to seal it again. I have to preheat the oven for at 220, and once it's at 220 I'm going to put this back inside the oven for 7 minutes. But before I do, I'm going to take the Morimoto Butyl and I'm going to go all the way around on the black housing, not the lens but the black housing. I'm going to go around and then snug it in, put it in the oven for 7 minutes, and then start using these clamps right here. And then I'm pretty much done. I'll show you guys the end result soon. And like I just mentioned, so you take this and you stretch it all along this edge right here, in case I wasn't clear on my last clip. Just around here. You're gonna stretch this a bit because you don't want the actual compound, the glue, this thick inside right here. If you look closely, look how thin they are. So stretch them so they're thin enough to fill this gap here. So that's what it should look like. Just squeeze that thing in just a little bit there. I'm gonna squeeze some in there. Pretty much that's it. In case you guys are wondering, this is the glue I'm using. I'll have everything in the description. Now let's get started and put this bad boy in the oven. All right, so I'm just about done. I used some silicone there to cover up the wires because I cannot fit the parking light socket in there. Same goes with this side. So I fed the wires out through the parking lot housing, and then I just covered up with some silicone. I use this bad boy right here. Should hold it up. All I have to do is just put a little bit more underneath that area and a few drops underneath that area. Right there. And that's it. It's midnight. It took me 2 days to do this session just because I was waiting for a part. I was waiting for the LED strips. Excuse me, not the LED strips, the Halo switchbacks. All right, in a couple of, I would say half hour, I'll install them in the car and then call it a night.